Well, everything is political now, Alexandra. The advice a doctor gives a patient, the car you drive. Surely the humble cup of tea is not also prone to all this politics.
This really, really angers me because I'm a big tea drinker and tea lover. I've got a whole wall of tea at home. Like, it was so bad my mum bought a cabinet to put the tea in, right? I've got a tea problem. And now all of a sudden my tea house is sending me these woke emails about how to improve diversity, how to save the planet, about gender, whatever. They've gone full communist totalitarian woke, and I've ignored it for a while, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to click on these emails and see just how crazy they have become. And I regret it because they've got full manifestos. I'm kidding you, like 20 pages about how they're now ranking their staff via their staff's race, gender, sexuality and disability, and then giving themselves as a company a credit rating based upon the makeup of their staff, which we used to call discrimination with a little bit of racial supremacy thrown to the side. I mean, this stuff is frightening, but what's really frightening, Fred, is the fact that all their net zero UN guidelines, like they're actually signed up to UN certify themselves basically about their goals. Well, their sustainability goals are what has killed tea production in the world. Sri Lanka has lost 70% of its production because of following UN net zero goals, and that has plunged the country and its people into poverty. Now, you won't see that on an email coming out of your work tea shop.
Yeah, but never mind all that. Does knowing that the tea company is diverse and sustainable make the tea taste better?
Actually, the tea's gotten significantly worse since they started playing with this. But what I think is funny is all of this virtue signaling, of course, we know it's a cult, it's a religion. It comes from a place of deep-seated guilt. And as I point out in my piece in The Spectator, there's no business more, no bigger beneficiary of the empire and colonialism and the East India Company than your local woke tea shop. Because without the British Empire, there would be no tea. And they can't deal with that. They don't want to come to terms with that little reality.
Indeed. But just quickly before you go, these are relatively small businesses we're talking about here. What really motivates these people? You said it's a cult, but it's hard enough running a business these days. Why do they add to the workload by signing up to these UN mandates? Well,
I'm sure it starts as a marketing ploy, trying to market their tea to the woke university culture. But what concerns me, if it was just one tea shop going full communist manifesto, they've literally got videos about how to become part of the collectivist worldview, right? They're full off the edge there. But the government, the Australian government, including the Liberal government before today, are trying to push all companies in Australia to engage in this glorified form filling to start meeting UN goals and to rank their workforces basically via virtue. And so this is coming to every single company in Australia, including your viewers. If they run a small business, they will be required to fill these things out. And when you read how crazy they are, it is nothing but politics. They're trying to use, like the United Nations is trying to use corporate and capitalism to lean on the political systems of our country because they weren't able to get there on their own merits. They've had to go via these businesses.